Hey there, YouTube friends. Through the years, I've had a lot of bass players come to me asking for lessons because they were asked to audition for the church band. So much so that I decided to do a video on the subject. Now, if you were asked to join the church band or audition for them, you're probably a little excited and maybe a little bit nervous. And I'm going to walk you through all this and show you how you could assess the situation and also tackle any pieces of music that they might throw at you. Now, chances are you've already seen the band. And when you're listening to the band, you could establish whether maybe they're intermediate players or maybe they're more advanced, established players just by listening to them. And also you could assess the situation by looking at the production value. Maybe the band just has a simple drum kit and a couple of acoustic guitars. Or maybe they have a big production with lights and sound, and come Sunday, they're doing a 3-camera shoot and streaming live on the internet. So that would kind of give you a good indication of what you're in for. Now, prior to the audition, the music director is going to give you some songs to learn. And they'll usually give you something that looks like this. Let me just pull this up over here. Now, this is a song that was given to one of my students who's in the exact situation. So I'm going to kind of tackle it as it would really occur, all right? So this song, I'm assuming, is a modern praise worship type of song. I'm not really familiar with it. But what you see here, what he was given, is what I would call a cheat sheet. All it gives you is the lyrics and the chords, which doesn't tell you too much because you don't know how many measures you're on each chord. There's lack of an introduction, and I'm assuming there's an introduction to the song, so you'd have to figure that out. So at some point, you're actually going to have to listen to the song. But before we do that, let's just take the information that's provided and just try to get established a little bit. All right. So the song is in D major. So let's just play the D major scale. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Okay, now we're not going to get heavy into theory. I'll give some links at the end of this video if you're interested in that. But we just want to get you going. So all we're going to do is look at the chords and we're going to target the root notes of the chords, okay? So we have a D. We have a G, we have a B, we have an A, and then we go back to G. All right, and then it starts all over. Okay, now we could also play it down here. So here's your D, here's your G, here's your B, here's your A, and here's your G, and then it starts all over again. All right. So now, from my experience, praise and worship songs are very formulated and heavily produced. They usually have acoustic guitar in them, a lot of synthesizer. They're usually running 8th notes or 16th notes, and they build the song up, and they come to a peak in the song, and then they pause for dramatic effect. They back off, they come back. So that's what I expect that we'll hear. All right. So before we dig any further into the song, let me pull the song up, and let's just give it a listen and see where we are. Yeah, so there's your synthesizer. Okay, so the bass player is running 16th notes. Sounds like he's playing with a pick. And we're also in a different key. All right. Now, we just heard a bunch of things in the song that weren't on the sheet that was given to my student. So you might face the same situation and you have to know how to navigate that. All right, so for starters, it's in a totally different key than what was given to my student, which was D major. So the song is actually in B flat major. All right, and we also had that introduction piece, all right? So that was B flat to E flat, okay? But how many measures? So there was 2 measures of B flat, 2 measures of E flat, measures of B flat, 2 measures of E flat, and then the verse started. Okay, so now you have to count out the measures of each chord on the verse, right? So we have 2 measures of B flat, 2 measures of E flat, 1 measure of G, 1 measure of F, 2 measures of E flat, and then it repeats. Now, I didn't expect this lesson to become so complicated, but that's what I get when I don't check the chart against the actual song. But that's okay, because then it becomes a learning experience and you get to see how I would chart out a song. Okay, so we're going to chart it out in the original key first. So this is the intro, and we have 2 measures of B flat major, followed by an E flat second chord, and then it repeats. All right. And then we're going to go to the verse. So I'll write verse over here. And we'll do the same thing. We're just going to make a little chart for ourselves. And the verse starts again, B flat major, B flat major, E flat second, and then we're going to have a G minor, F major, and we got the E flat second again. Okay, so that's how it would be for the original recording, but again, my student was given the song in the key of D. So we have to transpose everything up 2 whole steps. All right, so I'm going to use a different color marker here. So that's going to be D, D, G2, G2, D, D, G2, G2. And then we have D, D, G2, G2. Then we have B minor. Now you notice I'm actually writing the chords down because you're not always just going to be reliant upon the root. You'll have to know what the chord is. So you should get in the habit of writing the actual chords when you're charting a song for yourself. Okay, so now we have the actual measures written out for the intro and the verse. Now, the verse is going to repeat before we get to the chorus. So this is going to be like a double right here. But that's the basic gist of it. Now, you see the work that was involved in learning a song when you're just given a lyric sheet with chords on it. There was a lot of information that was missing. We didn't have the intro. We didn't have the measures. So in my opinion, it's better just to learn the song by ear. And then if you have to transpose it to a different key, then do it that way. If you have a good MD, a good music director, he might chart everything out for you so you don't have to go through the trouble. But in all the cases of people coming to me, getting ready to audition for the church, this is basically what they were given, a lyric sheet with the chords on it. But this will give you an idea of what you might be facing. So you might need a little help with it. And if you do, just hit me up at stevekonbass.com if you want some private lessons with me, and we could set you up and walk you through it. All right. So if you do try out for the church band, I wish you luck. I hope it works for you. And keep rocking. I'll catch you next time. See you.